Tonight, the Beaumont School Board held its board retreat where trustees discussed self-evaluations and superintendent evaluations. KFDM's Justin Hinton is back from the meeting. And Justin, since it was a retreat, were there many from the community in attendance tonight?
Greg, a small group and a few signs calling for resignations filled about 24 seats in the administration building. Well, trustees looked at a number of evaluation samples they received in training. But they want the evaluations to cater to the Beaumont School District. They want specific goals with benchmarks that can be measured objectively. Now, part of that includes measurements for the hiring of a CFO, other aspects of the finance department, and human resources. Trustee Bush said she wanted it to be designed for growth and not something to, quote, beat up the superintendent, that trustees all seem to support. A subcommittee chaired by Janice Broussard and composed of Zenobia Bush and Tom Neild will be responsible for drafting the superintendent's evaluation.
The financial entities of the district is something that he is going to be held accountable for. So we wanted to get this in place before we hold our budget meeting so that we could set some expectations for him.
Trustees Woodrow Reese, Terry Williams, and absent from tonight's meeting, Mike Neal, will be responsible for the board evaluation. We also used this time to discuss Superintendent Dr. Timothy Shagwau's revocation of Ples Atkins' contract. Now, he's the man the board voted to hire a week ago as Ozone High School's head football coach. Earlier this week, we learned Atkins received a disciplinary action at a previous district. Accusations of an improper relationship between Atkins and a student led to a suspension of his teacher's certificate for 3 years, beginning in 2006. Shagwau would not elaborate on when he learned of Atkins' history, but he did say he stands by his decision to not complete Atkins' contract.
When we got the correct information that we need, that we felt like would have an impact on our children, I made the decision that was important to be made.
I'm really not in the business of placing blame, although I'm not going to deny that there was maybe a gap. We should have seen this coming, but more so than placing the blame, I want to make sure going forward that we put things in place and that we don't take things for granted. We check everything.
She says that gap fell in the Human Resources Department, most likely not vetting Atkins to the fullest. She says these things do happen, but when they do, it's important to own up to them, close the gaps, and make sure they don't happen again. Greg?